Hey everybody, it's Stefan with S&S Diving, scuba diving instructor, rebreather diver, cave diver, and today I want to do a nice short quick review on the new Shearwater Petrel 3 with a Fischer for rebreathers. Whenever Shearwater announced that they were coming out with this product, I pre-ordered one right away. It arrived yesterday, and so I dove it today and thought I would do a nice short quick review on some of the new features of it and my thoughts on the computer. So real quick disclosure, I purchased this myself. I didn't receive it from Shearwater to do a review on or anything like that. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I don't sell them. I just thought I would put my thoughts out there for anybody wanting to purchase one. So there are a few differences of the new Shearwater Petrel 3 to the old Petrel 2. So the new features on the Petrel 3 that are different from the Petrel 2 is obviously the screen has been updated and has a nice clearer screen. The second obvious thing is it has a titanium bezel, whenever the original just had the plastic extension of the plastic cover. It also has titanium buttons. Not really sure if that was really needed, but honestly I like it just because I like titanium. I mean, I got a travel backplate that I built that's titanium backplate. I like titanium. It doesn't rust. So that was a win for me. The next big upgrade is the air integration. So the Petrel 3 has air integration for up to 4 transmitters, which is nice. For rebreather wise, it's mainly just nice, especially just for me, for logging purposes, because I just use a spreadsheet. It's easy to pull up what my dive was and what my beginning and ending pressures ended up being. The next big upgrade is they added in on this version 91 for the programming is this mini display that you can, in your settings, go to the NDL and select a mini display. So it still has your time to surface, you can't change that, but you can add in 2 other spots. So I did my comms there. Worked pretty nice. Real nice upgrade from the Petrel 2. I hope they do an update on the Petrel 2, because even though it's not air integration, you could add, put other items there that you want to look at often. So it has the mini display. It does it down here in the corner because it still has to display the oxygen sensors in a easy fashion. Kind of like how the Perdix had these mini displays that you could add to the sides. They couldn't do that in the same location, so they added it down here in the corner. So it's really nice to be able to have that. One other new thing that is on the version 91 that hopefully they get on the Petrel 2 eventually on an upgrade is you have a sensor calibration log. So you can go into your log and see when it was last calibrated, which is also nice. So the only con of the programming that I have noticed is that you can only have green or red for your numbers down here. You can change your lettering to anything, but your numbers for your other items can only either be green or red in the sensors. I'm sure in some update they'll change that to where you can change it to about anything, kind of like this one, how they got the blue and the white. I like how it has white lettering. Not that big a deal. It's not a deal breaker for me. But it's just a slight annoyance that it's either green or red. So on to diving the computer. Diving was real great. The screen was nice and clear. I just leave it set on automatic for its brightness. Able to read at the surface, out of the water, in the water. Down at depth, it was always easy to read. Down at depth, whenever it was dark, it wasn't overly bright on your eyes, so it was nice. the comms linked up perfectly. I'm switching over, or trying on my rebreather, to go to air integration for my pressure gauges. I used to always be a big proponent on analog pressure gauges, but after having several failures on the actual pressure gauges themselves going bad, and their name brand pressure gauges, it's just they're getting old and going bad. And also, I've been religious about keeping the spools that connect them good, but I've had multiple times where I had to pause a dive or at the start to get the spool to stop leaking. So I'm trying to just connect the AI units straight to the first stage so that it has less failure points. They connected perfectly. The only issue I had was I dive a KISS Classic, and so the transmitters are kind of tucked up inside the metal counterlung casing, and so when I was diving, it was on my right hand, or left hand, sorry, and my dill is on my left side, and it would read that all the time. But to get the oxygen to read as I was diving, I would just have to reach back for 3 seconds, bring it forward, and it would have registered. And I knew that it was registering properly because I have a Shearwater Nerd that is built in, that connected to the rebreather as well. And that one, for whatever reason, was reading both transmitters, no problem. It must just be the angle that my head's in the way, I guess, I don't know. But it was fairly consistently reading both transmitters properly at all times. And so to get this one to register, I just have to reach back as if I was going to unclip to check my gauges. Only it was just reach back for 2 seconds, pull it forward, and it was on. So that was not an issue for me at all. Still easier than unclipping a pressure gauge and clipping it back up. And on my right hand, I had the Perdix, and it was the opposite. It was reading the O2, but it couldn't read the dill unless I reached my hand back. So I could extend them with a line so that it would be up higher to read better, but for me, I'd rather just reach back than to have other failure points, because it worked great just reaching back. It was no problem at all. So like when I will be diving my my KISS Sidekick, everything's on my right hand side. My dill's on my right hand side, and my O2's on the right hand side, and so is the computer. So I have no doubt that whenever I'm diving that unit, it will all read without having to reach back, because it's all on that side. So yeah, that's about it. The screen was real nice and easy to read while I was on the dive. Mini display was great to be able to see both of my transmitters. I wish honestly that I could afford to have 2 Petrel 3s so that I could have a dedicated unit for my KISS Classic and a dedicated unit for my KISS Sidekick. But super easy to unplug and plug into the other units, so not that big a deal. If you're on the fence of getting one, I can say that I suggest to get it. It worked great. Great upgrade. Glad I purchased it. And yeah, so if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them. I will gladly answer any questions about it. I'll even, if there's big questions, make another video on it answering the question. So yeah, be sure to comment if you have any questions, and otherwise I will see you on the next video. Bye.